in the room. Bucks winning tonight, 125-119 over the Detroit basketball Pistons. Bunch of bums. Send them out to New York. Why was Beasley so mad? I ain't got to argue with you. You mad? No. I ain't going to argue with you. Bum Beasley, you mad? You getting shimmied on? All of that. 125-119. And this is for everybody. Oh, this is for everybody. This was for everybody. I'm not talking about Bucks fans. I'm talking about non-Bucks. I'm talking about everybody. Oh, the Pistons, they're so good. You see what the Pistons are doing? The Bucks are missing Dame. And this was as big of a playoff game in Detroit as they've ever had in 10 years. One of the biggest games they've had in 10 years. They wanted that 5 seed. We don't really care. They wanted that 5 seed. You don't get it. That's ours. We snatched that chain from you. We shimmy on you when you down. KPJ giving you the business. Dunking over Jalen Durham. What you got to say? Nothing. Detroit? The hell indeed. I wouldn't go to Detroit if I knew the way. Sorry ass city. Bunch of scrubs, dog. People hating on the Bucks. I don't understand it. I don't understand. Y'all, they not good enough, man. They're not good enough. Giannis and our bench lineup went out there and took you down. That's what that was about. My goodness, come on in the room. If you don't like that, you don't like Milwaukee Bucks basketball. Doc is our doctor. He writes out all of our scriptures. He gives us our medicine in our room. We are live. It's Cream City Crossover, Groove Travis III.
JT.
Justin.
Hey, man, we feeling it tonight, man. It's Friday night. I don't know what week you on win on my side. I got paid last. I get paid next week. But a lot of stuff, if you week to week, you just got paid Friday night. You feeling good. You feeling good. I'm feeling good. You're here with us right here at the Cream City Crossover. If you're in the chat, we'll talk to you in the chat. If you happy, if you are excited that the Milwaukee Bucks locked up the 5 seed when they wanted to do it, now you can rest on Sunday. Because what you doing? What you doing the 7th day, JT?
Say what?
What you do on Sunday, JT?
Rest.
You rest.
Yes, sir.
Hey, you can rest. Kick your feet up.
Ain't nobody trying to work on Sunday. We resting, sir. Everybody resting. Moving. Right? We could be walking around with no shoes on all day on Sunday.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Man. Yeah, man. Hey, look, we shut Detroit's water off tonight. That's right. That was shut. We shut their water off tonight. Everybody,
not the water, not the utility tank.
Hey, when you get your lights turned off, you can light a candle. You get your heat turned off. You can still get some blankets. But when that water gets shut off, you can't even wash your ass when that water gets shut off. Detroit got the water shut off tonight. 125-119. Yeah, you gotta pay that bill. You gotta pay that bill.
Like the toilet. Oh, you hit if the water shut off. You might as well be in the outhouse if you ain't got a lot of water.
That's what Detroit at right now. That's what Detroit's at. Get at us in the chat. Get at me.
Side of the house.
Get at me on the Twitter at TCIIESQ. But Detroit's a dirty city, so I'm sure they do it. They can do it right on the street out there. Shout out to is Joe Lewis from Detroit? Shout out to Joe Lewis though. And he from Detroit, right? He from Detroit. Ain't Joe Lewis from Detroit? Is he not?
I mean, probably. I don't know. I can look it up.
He rolling over in his grave right now. That's what he doing.
I know a few things about a few things, but I think Aretha Franklin's from Detroit, so I gotta give her a little bit of love.
Is she alive?
No.
Oh, she rolling over her grave too. She rolling over her grave because he's dead.
Marvin Gaye from Detroit, right? Gotta give Marvin a little credit too.
Yeah, he rolling. Everybody rolling over their grave. If you from Detroit right now, 125-119. Listen, I don't mind because again, if you can shimmy all over the court, you gotta be. If you don't want that fire, get up out that kitchen, dog. 125-119, man. This is beautiful. Beautiful win for your Milwaukee Bucks tonight. Taking care of business, and they did it in a great way. And again, like you said, you don't have to play on Sunday. You rest until you get to the first round of playoffs against the Indiana Pacers. We got a lot to cover tonight. Get us on the chat, on the Twitter, all that good stuff. We'll talk about it. I'll look at your chat. I don't know what's going on in the chat, but we'll look at it in a second here. But let's start off with a game recap. Giannis, 4 of the last 5 games, triple doubles. For 1 second, before I get to the rest of this, we have to acknowledge what Giannis is doing. We have to acknowledge who he is. I don't know if you watch Roman Reigns. You have to acknowledge what Giannis is doing because it is special. And for everybody, trade him. Are you sick in the head? What remember that? What was that? Chef Gordon Ramsay. Am I an idiot sandwich? Because that makes no sense. Trading out 32, 15, 11 tonight. 11 to 22 from the field. Oh, what they talk about? That boy hit 10 of 11 from the line. That boy hit 10 of 11 from the line. Plus 22 tonight. I thought.
What's that percentage?
Say what?
What's 10 of 11's percentage?
Hey, that's good. It's good. It's good. 90, 91. If again, but I'll say just the way he controlled the game, the pace. I always talk about his IQ. Maybe it has gone up. Because I've talked about his not him as a person, but his basketball IQ. I thought it was low. That tonight might have been the highest basketball IQ I've ever seen from 34. Usually Giannis is a bull in a china shop. I'm going straight to the rim. You can't stop me. You can't do nothing with me. That's all I'm doing. Tonight was controlling a game. From start to finish, he controlled the pace. He controlled the flow. He dictated everything that went on. Offense, defense, the entire night. Giannis he had his thumb on the scale tonight. That was as impressive of a game. It's not quite game 6 in the finals, but that was as impressive of a regular season game I've seen. Maybe when I was impressed. Even the 70-point game he had in or 64 he had in Indiana. This was like, I mean, it's one thing to just dominate and score over everybody every single time. This was different. This was a little bit different, and I appreciate it from Giannis. He played the entire fourth quarter. Brook Lopez, 15 and 7 tonight, 5-11 from the field. He didn't close again. This group, we had to talk about this starting group did not close the game. And it's interesting. We'll get into it, but and I know a lot of people want to put Kuzma and Prince. Brook Lopez in that line is in that group too of guys that don't start. Don't forget that. Taurean Prince, I did think he hit a couple nice threes tonight. But 10 points, 2 rebounds, 3 of 7, 3 of 5 from the 3-point line. I thought it was over. It was okay. It was okay. Kyle Kuzma, 22 minutes tonight. Only 22 from Kuzma, 10 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 3 of 7 from the field, 3 of 5 and 3. Hit a couple clutch threes in the corner. A couple big-time threes in the third quarter. I thought he was okay, but he couldn't stop Cade Cunningham. And ultimately, you just didn't need him on the floor because you have other guys that can shoot the ball so well. Tonight, I'm just looking. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another game where you have 6 guys in double figures. Bobby Porter's 17 and 10. He's a walking double-double since he's come back from 25-game suspension. 7 to 13 from the field. Kevin Porter Jr., another guy who thumb on this. He to me 30 minutes tonight. Thumb on the scale. I didn't mention Rollins had 7 points, 4 assists, 3 of 5 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3-point line. I thought Rollins was okay. Thought he was decent. He just wasn't KPJ. He wasn't KPJ. KPJ is special. There's a difference. Ryan Rollins is a solid player. KPJ is special. I don't know that we're gonna be able to keep Kevin Porter Jr. I just don't know that we're gonna keep him next year because I don't think we have the money. I think you'll be a fool if you're another team. Kevin Porter Jr. should be getting $25 million a year. That's what he should get. That's what he's worth. 16 points at least. 16 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, 5 of 12 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3. Had 2 turnovers. Thought he got a little bit hectic there at times. There was a sequence there. I think it was in the third quarter. And late in the third, he got a little hectic. But outside of that, I thought he was magnificent for a lot of the game. Again, 7 assists tonight. You have to appreciate it. Gary Trent Jr. 9 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 2 steals, 3 of 12 from the field. But again, it goes to show you, to me, shooting don't matter to me all the time. So make or miss, you gonna hit shots, you gonna miss shots. Late in that game, Gary Trent Jr. hit a couple of big-time threes. AJ Green, another guy, he missed 2 threes in the fourth quarter that were, big threes that could have really broke that thing open. And AJ Green didn't hit them, but he came back and knocked down one. 9.6 rebounds tonight. 3 of 5 from the field, 3 of 5 from 3. He was a plus 11. And again, the other thing, the number that was more impressive to me, 6. He had 6 rebounds tonight. What AJ Green, that last offensive, he had 2 that I thought were really big. He had 1 where he crashed the glass, and that's why I keep telling you guys, everybody's, well, you have to get back on defense. Everybody else is crashing the glass. Every other team is finding offensive rebounds. 2 points in the fourth quarter. AJ Green, there was a shot. I don't know who missed it, but AJ Green stuck his head in there, tried to get the ball, made it go out of bounds to somebody from Detroit. That saved the extra possession. And then there was one in the fourth quarter where AJ Green just skied up for the ball, went and got it on the rebound and got it back for the Bucks. Detroit side of things, Thompson, 11.7 rebounds. Tobias Harris, 17 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Had a couple fake threes. Jalen Duren, 11 points, 16 boards for him. Tim Hardaway, 6 points. Kay Cunningham was unstoppable tonight, 36 points, 12 assists, 6 rebounds for him. He was 15 of 21 shots, 71%. He just did a great job. Malik Beasley, 21 points, 7 of 16. He shot 14 threes, 7 of 14 from 3. It's cool. Hey, it's cool when you do it. It's a problem when we do it. Don't shimmy if you don't want to shimmy back. And then you get mad at it. Dennis Schroeder, 12 points tonight. Paul Reed, 2 points. Holland was terrible. Had 3 rebounds tonight. Bucks win at 125-119. Only thing I'll say before I let you go, JT, I think that, tonight was what showed me a lot about this Milwaukee Bucks team. You've won 7 in a row. Well, who'd you do it against? You can't beat this team. Well, who'd you beat the last couple? You beat the Minnesota Timberwolves, very good basketball team. And then you go beat the Detroit Pistons, an over 500 team as well. Both of those teams had a lot they were playing for. Detroit wanted this game. There's no doubt about it. They wanted this game, and they just couldn't do it. They couldn't take it because the Bucks were just that good tonight and beat the Detroit Pistons, and Giannis dominated. The only thing I say, I thought, again, first quarters start slow. Again, you could argue it's Kuzma, Prince, Brook. I think I've said it before. I said it last time. I think all 3 of them have skill sets. I'm going to go back through it, but all 3 of them have skill sets. They just don't need to be on the court together. They don't need to be on the court together. I think that they are a problem together. It reminds me of when I was at Domino's. By myself, I was working Domino's. I was a pretty good employee. By myself, I was cool. We had this dude. Now remember, I was out at University of Maryland while I was working. They had a guy named Josh. His friends, I thought it was a little racist. They called him Black Josh because he was a black dude named Josh, and they called him Black Josh, which is hilarious. But then when I call him Black Josh, he ain't like he was on the Malik Beasley because I call you Black Josh. You don't like being called Black Josh. I get around your white friends, they call you Black Josh. You say, oh, it's all cool. Don't call me that. No, they call you Black Josh. I'm gonna call you Black Josh too. But anyway, my point is when I was working by myself. Fine. He was working by himself, fine. Together, we messing up orders left and right. They had to separate us. So I think that this is the trio together is not good. But they did hold serve in the second half. And again, I thought Giannis controlled the basketball game, especially when I knew he was controlling the game, when I couldn't tell if it was Giannis or Jimmy Butler out there. Because, he's pump faking and they jumping, and he jumping into him. He was grifting a little bit. I just appreciated the night, man. I have a lot of thoughts, but I don't want to. I've already taken enough time. 125-119. That's a little bit of what I saw. JT, what'd you see?
Man, you know what I saw? I saw 34 on the road on the second game of a back-to-back. Get out there and get absolutely busy. That's what I saw. I saw 34. I saw 34 go crazy tonight. And you know what I really love about this performance by Giannis tonight? Go ahead and look at the stat sheet. You go, wow. Like you said, 32, 15 assists, 11 rebounds, right? It's the triple-double. But what really gets me is when we talk about that last minute. What did he do? Duren going for that dunk? No, sir. No, sir. Got something for you. Giannis swatting that thing. Oh, Beasley, you think you're going to pull up and do it? Get that out of here too, right? The 2-man block party at the end. That's what I'm talking about. This dude had already given everything, put everything he had into the court here. But in that last minute, he said, I'm going to show y'all why I should be the MVP. Let me show y'all why I should be the MVP. I wowed y'all already in the stat sheet. Let me just go ahead and go and show you what these long arms do. Let me show you what these arms do, right? Take one and pass it down. Swat. Take one and pass it down. Swat.
Show you what these arms do.
Show you what these arms do.
At least you didn't say show what his hands do.
At best, that's questionable. That ain't called for. That ain't called for. So what these arms do. You get away with that. You get away with that. That's the only part you can get away with. Let me show you what these arms do. Okay, right? You can get away with that there. Okay. You can't get away with that with any other body part, right? Anyway, we already off the rails. Here we go. Trey, what's in that cup, man?
No, it's really just juice, man. It's just juice. I like it. I just like it. It's just juice. I got juice.
All right, you trying to convince everybody you drinking Hawaiian Punch. Got some of that good and it got some of that yak in that cup.
I ain't got nothing but juice,
No. No. But you know what? And again, I think you're right. I think we've all established this, and a lot of the listeners and the people that watch this too. Taurean Prince, Kyle Kuzma, and Brook Lopez. That is kind of the Bermuda Triangle on offense. When those 3 on the court at the same time, like, man, I don't know. Those of you guys who are new to this thing, a little bit younger, y'all know about the Bermuda Triangle. That was where a bunch of ships were going and weird stuff was happening. They just was getting lost. They wasn't coming back. Nobody could figure out what was happening. Now, I think with the modern invent of GPS, Not sure the Bermuda Triangle is a thing anymore, but y'all get what I'm saying here, right? Or for those of y'all who are history buffs, that is the triumvirate of a catastrophic thing here. Anyway, what I also like about tonight is I still say, Giannis went out there and went absolutely crazy. I still think tonight was more of a team effort win. Everybody chipping in, everybody to an extent doing their part. I know we've been all over Brook Lopez for the longest time. We certainly have, and rightfully so. I don't think we've been wrong. But Brook Lopez had 3 blocks tonight. And you know what? That's what I'm talking. You're gonna be out there, get some. You're gonna be out there, get some. Do something. You gotta do something on defense. And if you're gonna be out there and you're gonna get a block shot or at least alter shots, that's about the best we can hope for. So if you can at least do that, we can live with that in spurts. You talk about the bench. I mean, obviously Kevin Porter Jr. How about that poster Kevin Porter Jr. had tonight, though?
Ooh, yeah.
Every once in a while, Kevin Porter Jr. gonna cook you. Every once in a while. Was that on Duran too?
Yep.
Ooh, Durham. Was that on? So Durham was catching that. Durham was getting his dunk swatted by Giannis, and then Kevin Porter Jr. was dunking on that man's head. Ooh, Durham, it's a rough night for you, sir. You look at tonight too, and even if you look at the stat sheet, do you know every player on this Bucks team that played tonight, not named Giannis, had made a 3? Every single Bucks player on this team tonight, not named Giannis, made a 3-pointer, which is impressive. Everybody that played. And yeah, look, I think I'll close with this. I thought last night you needed to win. I thought tonight you needed to win. I think you need to be in playoff mode. You need to be locked in. No more goofy losses. Let's get out there and let's start punching people in the mouth. And I would say that I think we are hitting our stride for real at this point. I know you're missing Dame, who's a key contributor, and we're hoping Dame comes back. But with this squad, with the fight we've seen, with the guys stepping up, and, KPJ has been a revelation. With this man, I feel confident that we're going to win this first round. I don't care who the hell we end up matching up with. I feel confident that we're going to get in there and we're going to tell them get down or lay down, because I really do think this Bucks team is getting out this first round. And I also think there's nobody on the East that wants this Bucks smoke right now, like in the first round. Not at all, right? There is nobody that wants to face this Bucks team in the first round. Good win by this team last night. Great win by this team tonight. Good job. I'm gonna give Doc his flowers. Look, your guys came out prepared. They came out to swing and bang when we needed them to. And quite honestly, I'm impressed. That's what I saw. Justin, it's over to you, sir.
Before we do that, let me get to the super chats. I want to appreciate the super chats. And Reaper's Ghost says, I hope they sit the starters, KPJ, Gary Trent Jr., and Bobby for the next game. Maybe not Rollins. Let him run with the bench. I don't disagree with that. I'd agree with that, Reapers. You definitely want to give you guys some rest as you head to the playoffs. And another super chat, NYC Demon, he always in here with the super chat, says, Bobby was moving his feet today. MVP is Doc, who, credit where it's due, has not missed with the closing lineups in these games. He has picked the right guys every game. Giannis is in his element right now. I don't think I say to that, NYC, you're absolutely right. And that's something, again, everybody who's been a Doc hater, and again, I'm not a Doc, lover. I'm not just, it's, oh, man, that's impressed with Doc. Now, I know what Justin's going to say. City Moncrief was out there, told you guys about Doc. But what I will say about Doc, the thing that I knew about him is Doc Rivers is, how many times I said this on the show? He's an old school coach. Doc Rivers, when it comes to running with your horses, again, you may not like his offense, you may not like his schemes, you may not like what he does here and there, you may not like how he uses a challenge, you may not like Doc Rivers is going to run. When it's time to win a game, Doc Rivers is going to run his horses, and tonight was a prime example for 2 reasons. One, as NYC Demon says, he closes with that bench lineup plus Giannis. 2, if you notice, start of the fourth quarter. This lets you know people kept saying, "Oh, I don't believe Doc Rivers is gonna, I gotta trust Doc Rivers." What is Doc Rivers gonna do? Doc Rivers played Giannis to start that fourth quarter because you wanted that win. And Giannis typically sits in the first few minutes, start the fourth. You knew what he had to do. He wanted to win. Go ahead and get the win. Sorry about that. But yeah, appreciate the super chats. Go ahead, Justin.
Nah, super chat was spot on, man. And the only thing I'm gonna say about Doc is and you see it on Twitter all throughout the basketball game where guys are like, Doc is terrible, Doc is slow. Look, you can't play 48 minutes with the same exact lineup. He has to mix it up. He has to give other guys run too. And think about it like this. Had Doc not started mixing it up early in the season, Ryan Rollins may not have the confidence that he has right now to be able to contribute during valuable basketball times. Because you got to prepare for in case guys go out. We don't have any post-game stuff from Doc. I don't know if they couldn't get him on the radio, but it's all good. I got a little bit from Bobby, and I'm sure some of y'all are going to get mad. But he said he talked about, so first of all, In 2 out of 3 games, Bobby has been a double-double. And he talked about just how he was working, playing with the young guys in the gym, and that just kept him fresh. Talked about bringing Kuz and KPJ to the team, brought versatility to the Bucks that helps the Bucks win.
Who said it? Was that Joe Paterno? Playing with the young guys in the gym. Come
what
on,
Bobby
dog.
said.
That's crazy. Okay,
Well,
that's crazy. Go ahead.
What's wrong with you, man?
No, that was crazy. Go ahead.
What's wrong with you, man? You went full on Jerry Sandusky with it, and just
well, see, I didn't want to turn a blind eye like Joe Pop. Go ahead. I had to acknowledge that. Go ahead.
Yeah, dog, man. Sheesh.
Trey tried to tell you that Hawaiian punch in that cup. You ain't got no damn Hawaiian punch in that cup.
Right.
Got some
okay. Super pause on that. Bobby playing with the guys that don't play on the basketball court, hooping on the basketball court with these young guys brought him. I said it again. God darn, we just gonna move. All right. So Bobby closed the interview and he said, "We ain't playing Sunday."
I like that.
So closer lineup, absolutely amazing. This is some of the stuff you're seeing from Doc, and maybe we've been playing spades the whole time while some of these other coaches have been playing hearts, but it looks like he saved these big spades to throw them down when the game is on the line. And you don't want to show your hand against the Toronto Raptors on November 22nd. This is a time when you do it once we're getting in this playoff thing. Key stat of the night tonight, this is why we won the basketball game, in my opinion. Detroit basketball is one of the best rebounding teams offensively and defensively. We won the rebounding advantage 44-42 tonight. That's huge. We have gotten killed throughout this win streak on that and stuff like that. I think the Pistons are a bunch of punks. Sorry. Like Malik Beasley, like y'all already said everything you need to say about this dude. Stop crying. Like, you can't shake and shimmy and do all this stuff in a dude face, and then Giannis get one up on you, and then you do it. But also another dude that's a punk is Dennis Schroeder. He's just the ultimate punk. All that hand grabbing and fighting and pushing and all that stuff, man. I'm so proud of KPJ. I think that he really did a good job as far as staying on cool mentally and finding a way to close this game out. You may be onto something, because the more that KPJ plays like this, the harder it's going to be to bring him back, because the price, yesterday's price isn't today's price. But I think another guy that we see might be playing himself off this team for a contract is Gary Trent Jr. Because, I know we're losing Brooke. We're going to lose
You could keep Brooke back. I'm not now. We talked about it, but because you can go over with the bird rights, you can keep Brooke without really impacting your salary too much. But that's another discussion. But like Ty was saying the other day, I think there is a shot that Brooke does come back. I wouldn't pay him a bunch of money, but maybe he comes back on as a bench role, veteran role, a couple more years to finish it out. We'll see.
Yeah, you just gotta. You'll see. There's a way to make it work. But I don't know if you can bring everyone back like that. But, man, it's just good that we saw a team that tried to punk us and push us around tonight, and it didn't work. And we slammed the ball literally down on their heads multiple times, KPJ and Giannis. And then we blocked the hell out of them, like JT said. So, hey, man, Detroit, good luck to you against the New York Knicks.
Yeah.
Hope it works out for you.
Yeah, absolutely. DJ Droop TV with the super chat. Says, what's your opinion on Doc going with AJ over Kuz in the fourth? Again, I think I just think that's simplifying. I think it's more than just that. I think it's not only AJ over Kuz, it's that entire group. It's AJ, it's AJ over Kuz, it's Gary Trent over Torian Prince, it's Bobby over Brooke, and it's KPJ over Rollins. It's that. I think it's all that in a vacuum. I don't think you could just take one in and of itself, but my opinion on it is it makes sense because that's a group that move. Again, you got to think about it. KPJ is a capable and willing defender. AJ Green, a capable and willing defender. Is that KO? Not again. Y'all see you throwing me off, JT. KPJ is a willing defender. AJ Green is a willing defender. Giannis is always going to be a great defender. And again, Gary Trent Jr., a willing and a capable defender. And Bobby Portis, when you encapsulate, again, Bobby Portis is a stinky defender when you got him out there with Brooke Lopez, who's with him. But if you have him out there with, again, I just named 4 guys that are either average to above average defenders. In Giannis' case, an elite defender. if you have him out there with 4 really good defenders, Bobby Portis is fine. You can kind of hide because again, and I mentioned the thing that Bobby Portis will do is he will rebound. He will rebound. So even though he's not your best on-ball defender and he's gonna at least try and he can help you because he's gonna finish out the possession. As we always say on this show, the defense possession is not over till what?
Rebounded.
Secure the rebound. So again, I don't know if you guys want to answer DJ Droop's question here, asking about the opinion on Doc going AJ over Kuz.
So, go ahead. I'm sorry. I was gonna bring up something about KPJ just to get everybody updated here, but after you.
I'm cool. I'm cool with it as long as AJ Green is making shots and he's playing defense the way that he did tonight and the last night. I think where we run into problems is where AJ Green starts with the hacking a little bit and he misses shots. But the kid competes and he made winning basketball plays tonight. That was huge, that offensive rebound. And I think what I see about this team, and we talked about it a little bit last night when I went on my rant about, Dr. Greenfield and stuff like that. But this team is connected and united together as one. They are a team. You don't see guys going to the bench and then pouting because they're not in the basketball game. You see Dane, they talked about it during the broadcast, how Taurean Prince was cheering for AJ Green and giving him instruction and stuff like that. I think this is a solid team. And I said it last night, and I wholeheartedly believe this. If Kevin Porter Jr. is going to play this good, sky's the limit for this team.
Well, so to catch everybody up with this who's figured this out, Kevin Porter Jr. is technically not a free agent this offseason, but he has a player option. So the issue is he has a player option so he has the choice to opt in or not. He doesn't opt in, he becomes a free agent at this point. So what can we do to keep him? I'm not really sure. I agree with you guys. I think he's probably a $20 to $25 million player. Yeah, I mean, at least at the minimum, $15 million is somebody eligible to pay him off the bench. I think he's far outplayed and outseeded his contract, and he might be the best value in the NBA as of right now, at least for the second half of the season, by far, maybe the best value in the NBA because he's only scheduled to make $2 million. He's only making $2 million. All right, so that's kind of the dilemma with KPJ. What can we do to keep him? I'm really not sure at this point. But I did want to get that out there, though, because people keep saying we got to keep KPJ. Well, yeah, he has a player option, right? If he opts out, that's when I think things get to be a bit dicey.
Well, he's definitely going to opt out. But here's your question, because I believe, and somebody in the chat, if you know, let me know. But I believe he's going to have I believe the Bucks they can only keep him through the mid-level exception or one of those exceptions, and I believe they're going to have maybe about $13 or $14 million to do that. So so when we talk about KPJ, my question is, do you split? Because the two guys you would probably want to keep in between that, you probably say screw Taurean Prince. The two guys you want to use it on are Gary Trent Jr. and or Kevin Porter Jr. So is it a case where one of those maybe come back? Could you split it between those two? Or do you think, I think there's a scenario where, like you said, if you were to use that entire 13 or 14 million on KPJ, maybe he does come back and re-sign with you. And again, I think the other question is, does KPJ look and go, hey, I can do this anywhere? Or does he go, man, I like playing with Giannis so much, and I like this dynamic that we have, and maybe who knows what happens with Damian Lillard in the offseason? Maybe they want me to be the point guard of the future. Maybe it does make sense for me to re-up and take the mid-level exception. But again, or do you try to split them both? I don't know. What do you think? Would you just, if you had the option, would you try to split it, or would you give every bit of it to Kevin Porter Jr. because of the way he's played?
Well, one of the things you can look at too, and this is kind of tough to it's a little tough to quantify, but everybody know what I'm talking about when I say it. Look at what happened to Bobby. Look at what happened to Bobby when he came to Milwaukee. He found like, man, I found a home. I found this place that embraces me. I found a place that kind of gets me. The fans love, everybody in the city love that man. Again, they had Bobby on the money. Bobby was on the debit card, right? Bobby came here, and all of a sudden, money wasn't the most important thing once he got cashed out and paid. That's kind of the same thing potentially that you could be looking at with KPJ, even though he's a bit younger. He's probably only 23, 24. I think that's about right. So, there's a chance that KPJ feels at home here. The part that's tough, though, is he got traded at the deadline, so he really hasn't been here that long. But I can already tell you right now, Bucks Twitter, hey, man, KPJ is growing a cult following. he's growing a cult follower. There's no question about that. If there's anybody on this team outside of Gia that is quickly amassing a lot of fan support and becoming a fan favorite, it's definitely KPJ. I'm not gonna lie, Kuzma was the big name that was traded, but KPJ by far is like people are praising and loving you, and that love is universal that KPJ is getting at this point.
Yeah, shout out Marty Mouse. I thought he brought a good point. KPJ know he's playing better in Milwaukee than anywhere else he's played, and he's happy here. He said a different word, but we're gonna say he's happy here.
By the way, somebody said Trey on Demon Time. Somebody said Cream City 1846 to bro at the bottom.
We're not addressing Cream City 1846.
Oh, we're not addressing that?
Okay. We're not addressing
but yeah,
go ahead.
So bringing KPJ though, like hopefully, and JT, you mentioned it, bro. You talked about how Bobby took that 1 year, that pseudo extension thing, because he knew he was going to get to that bag. And I think KPJ's been the best player on a bad team before, on the 21 Houston Rockets, and he cooked there. And then he's kind of bounced around because of stuff that happened outside the court. We understand that. But he has a place here where he can learn and grow. And you can grow arguably with the best player in the NBA for the next 4 to 5 years. Sure, the Denver fans would say something about Joker. Totally understand it. And that allows him to play better. Then you look at a guy like Gary Trent Jr. I think the only way we're going to keep both, and Dame may have used his last lifeline to reach out to Gary Trent to get him to come on that low deal, but those brothers are going to have to get paid. Gary Trent he's had a kind of an up and down career. He's a very good, solid basketball player, but I think a lot of stuff and a lot of onus has to go, you're solid because of these guys that are around you that you're playing with.
Matthew Adler, yes. Matthew Adlard says, super chat, Matthew Adlard, appreciate it. He says, Giannis is the best player on earth finish to the year. Best win of the year again. Bring on the playoffs, full of confidence. Let's go. And again, this is the funny thing we talked about, and I appreciate it, Matthew, locking in and riding with us hypothetically in this car, because what we've been talking about is the difference between wins and losses imagine anything breaks the other way and you lose this game, or you lose minutes, or you don't make the 24-point comeback, or you drop a random game to the Pelicans even without your star players because you played the bench. I feel people, for whatever reason, I'm not saying for whatever reason, but we know why, people get so upset and you go from one extreme to the other. And so when you finish the year winning 7 in a row, Giannis 4 of the last 5 games he's played in triple doubles, KPJ playing the way he's played, Doc Rivers maybe finding a lineup that you really like, Giannis closing at the 5 in a bunch of games. When that's what you've been seeing, that does exude confidence from a fan base. I think you're feeling. I think you see it. I think it's there, and I think again, there were so many people who would have said even with Giannis. That's the thing that surprised me. I understood it last year with Dame, where it's Damian Lillard and you lose to and again he didn't play all the games either. So I think if he played every game, I think you win that series. But people right now, we know everything we know is that Giannis is going to go into the playoffs healthy, right? And we don't know about Dame, but that's fine. I just don't understand how anybody has seen Giannis play ever in life in the last few years and what he's done and say, yeah, I think the Pacers are better than that. I just don't see it. I don't see it. And again, could it happen? It absolutely could. I'm not saying that there's no chance in the world the Bucks could lose a series. But Giannis, when he wants to win a game, he looked down the barrel of a gun and saw the Detroit Pistons on the road. Like you mentioned, I think Jesse mentioned on a back-to-back. He looked Detroit in the eye and said, I don't want to play on Sunday. We finishing y'all tonight. And that's what I think he can do to the Indiana Pacers.
100%. But keep in mind, here's something else that I do want to think about too. I do want to mention here too. We're talking about this is the first time in a couple of years that Giannis goes into the playoffs healthy. This is also the first time in a couple of years that Giannis is going into the playoffs happy. The man genuinely looks like he's enjoying himself out there. And, I know that's a little thing that's not really – it's not – he does look happy. These guys, there's an energy about this team that looks a bit different, right? Maybe the young boys got in there and taught the old boys some of the new dances. They got to listen to music they really can't understand, but they're like, all right, we can rock with the way this sounds. I can live with it, whatever it is. But this is the first time that I think Giannis, he just looks happy. He looks genuinely happy to be. The team looks happy to be out there. The team looks like they're in a good space mentally. And that goes a long way, too. that definitely goes a long way too. And Dame coming back is only going to contribute to that. But keep in mind how a team feels. That also does that. It's not everything. It's not the determinative factor, but it does play a factor in performance. And I agree with you, Trey. We going belt to ass in that first round, belt to butt.
Man, if we go in
Bare butt.
we play solid basketball, man. There's just not a lot of teams that I feel that are composed enough to beat a Giannis Antetokounmpo healthy team and bring a bunch of guys with them, man. One thing you talked about, Trey, about him looking down the barrel of a gun, he did that in the 2022 season when Chris fell victim to that injury when the guy slid underneath him. He did that against the Boston Celtics. And had it not been for equally probably one of the best playoff performances to counteract what Giannis did, we're probably moving on in that series against some Boston Celtics because Jason Tatum went absolutely nuclear. And that's the only reason why they beat us. Giannis is great, and he's amazing. He's shown it these last few games. He's shown it when Dame's been on the court. He showed it when Dame's been off the court. So, and what I'm going to guess is the way that Bobby came back and brought all this energy, I think Sims coming back in his playoffs is going to do that, and I think Dame coming back is going to do that. And they'll get to a point where Dame will get back in this playoff run. And let's just hope we strap in and we're ready to go against Indiana. We know they're a good, talented basketball team. As much as Halliburton annoys us Milwaukee folks, we know the kid can play some basketball. We know Turner's going to do some things, but we just got to come and play Milwaukee Bucks basketball. And I'm not worried about the second round, the third round, or any of that. One game at a time, one team at a time. Let's continue to move on. And sooner or later, we're going to have a parade in the mill again. That was a beautiful time.
It absolutely is. Want to mention Harris Stavro on Twitter mentioned about. I thought it was interesting. Giannis finished his 12th regular season in the NBA, 30.4 points per game. That's good for second. He finishes with 11.9 rebounds a night. That's good for sixth. 6.5 assists a night. That's good for 14th. 14 seems odd. Seems like it's not enough. Something seems off about that one. And then 34.2 minutes, 29th. 56 double-doubles and 11 triple-doubles in 67 games. A hell of a year from Giannis. I want to address Deshaun, man. Says Milwaukee Bucks are wasting a generational player. I have, because I've seen some of that sentiment that's gone around before. I don't understand that. What do you mean when you say the Bucks have wasted a generational player? Well, they've won a championship, and then every year beyond that, either he or somebody in his cohort was injured. So yeah, again, like you mentioned, Chris Middleton missed 2022. And then Giannis missed the last 2 years after that. Essentially, he missed a few games in Miami Heat series. So how are you blaming? I guess that's my thing is, what do you mean when you say? I guess that's the piece I don't get is when people go almost like the Milwaukee Bucks have wasted it. No, well, did they force him to become injured? Did they hurt his calf? Did they make Chris Middleton land underneath somebody? Did they make him land awkward? Did they make Kevin Love land up underneath them, roll up underneath? Did they do that? Did the Milwaukee Bucks make Damian Lillard have a blood clot? I get, so when you say you wasted a generational player, to me, that comes when either the team did not win a championship. I would say you wasted a generational player. I'm trying to think of a generation players that were wasted, that don't like if Anthony Edwards didn't win a championship in Minnesota, they've wasted a type of. If the San Antonio Spurs never win with Wemby, they would have wasted a generational player. A team that wins a championship didn't waste a generational player. I think for whatever reason, we are blinded by the Lakers and what Kobe and Shaq did. You're blinded by the Golden State Warriors dynasty. And you've been blinded by MJ and what MJ did with the Bulls with 6 rings, because I don't. Dynasties are very hard to do. I think people have this thought that like you have a great player, you should have a dynasty, and I don't know that it necessarily works like. Well, let me say it doesn't usually work like that.
No, not at all. No, there's great players, and sometimes you get sometimes you don't even get a championship with great players. It happens. It's very, very tough to do. It is. Now, one thing I will say is I do think that the Bucks have a legitimate chance you do things the right way. You do have a legitimate chance of getting multiple rings during Giannis' tenure. I don't think that's far fetched. I don't think that is we're not being completely delusional by saying there's an opportunity to do that. Now, I do think that opportunity is going to close at some point. It's not going to be that way forever. But I agree with you, Trey. Dynasties are very tough. That's why you usually remember a lot of them. Like, you usually do remember a lot of your dynasties. You may not remember the team that wins every single year, but you certainly do. And look, for every team that goes out there like Golden State, there's 100% of Toronto Raptors. There's 100% of Dallas Mavericks. Team who gets out there, gets a ring, and then, goes right on off a cliff for an extended period of time.
Yeah, wasting a generational talent is tough to me. I don't think the Philadelphia 76ers nor the Phoenix Suns wasted Charles Barkley. I don't think the Utah Jazz wasted Karl Malone or John Stockton. Like you mentioned, Trey, and like you alluded to as well, JT, there's so many different moving factors that come into winning the NBA championship. And when you look at a guy like Stockton and Malone, look at guys like Stockton and Malone, that guy that wore 23, that everybody still wears his sneakers 30 years later, you can't do anything when you got a guy like that. So the fact that we have one is absolutely amazing. And when you look at the fact that we struggled against the Miami Heat when Giannis went down, John Horst, because I know people are talking about Dame was a bad trade, John Horst pulled the trigger on a guy that can get a bucket when Giannis isn't on the court. And we saw that against Indiana when Giannis wasn't on the court last year. When Dame was pseudo-healthy in a couple of those games, he got buckets and made plays. And then I think the last game that we had an opportunity to win that went to overtime, his body kind of shut down on him as well. Argue, and you can go back and forth, was the Dame trade the right trade or not. I'm not really going to get into that. But when you look at these role players they bring it in, Gary Trent Jr., Taurean Prince, Malik Beasley, you look around, the Milwaukee Bucks are doing everything possible to bring a championship to us, another one. And the fact that they delivered one, I mean, if championships were as easy as what we thought they were, we wouldn't have a 50-year gap in between ours.
Oh, that's 100% true. Let's get back to tonight, because tonight was a good night for the Bucks. 125-119. They beat the Detroit Pistons. Tesman says Beasley getting in his feelings is hilarious. Robert Hemming says funny, the win streak keeps rolling. Kalippi says KPJ was playing ball. He had a couple good offensive plays in the last few minutes. Bibby Joseph says Pacers fans about to find out how fraudulent their team really is now that Giannis is healthy, and we may get Dame back. And then Io says, without Sims, Brook will have games like tonight in the playoffs, and thank God it was only 25 minutes today. I want to get back, because one of the topics is playoff intensity. And I thought tonight, one of the reasons why I was impressed with the Bucks was because there was some playoff intensity tonight. You know it because, again, Giannis is wagging his finger in Malik Beasley's face. He's shimmying over top of him after he blocked the three-point shot. But then you saw Kevin Porter Jr. show, again, he got a little dog in him when he gets a hard screen from Jalen Duren, goes right back and knocks him. And again, it was a little bush league, but he hit him in the back. I didn't have a problem with it. I didn't have any problem with it because, again, it's just showing, hey, we're not backing down from anything. So you saw the intensity from both teams, and again, the Detroit Pistons, they wanted to win that basketball game. They 100% want to show what they are in the Eastern Conference, or they can be a threat, or that they can really make some noise. And again, I don't think they can make noise yet, but they do. Again, I mean, just look at go down the line again of how they played, and I mean, I thought they gave their best shot. I know we've been joking on it, but I thought you got 11 points from Thompson. You got 17 points from Tobias Harris. You got 16 rebounds from Duren. You got 36 and 12 assists from Cade Cunningham. And you got 21 points on 7 made threes from Malik Beasley. It wasn't like a game where Malik Beasley shot the ball terrible and they didn't do, and they got ran out of the gym because they weren't ready for the intensity. If you go back and look at how many threes did they make? They went 18 to 39. They shot 46% from three. They shot 49% from the field. I mean, they hit 18 threes. The Bucks had 17. So this was a game where Detroit, they didn't, like, this wasn't one of those games where people say, oh, again, and this is what people do with the excuses for the Bucks, where it's like, oh, well, Minnesota collapsed, or you win this game, and oh, well, Minnesota played poorly, or this team played bad, or you played a bunch of bunk. The Detroit Pistons, who you've talked them up all year, Told me how great of a job they've done. JB Bickerstaff, coach of the year. You told me how great this team was. Cade Cunningham, most improved player. Put him in this record. He should be all NBA. You told me all of that about the Detroit Pistons. They come out and they played good. They played well tonight, and they got beat down. Like when are people going to give the Milwaukee Bucks the credit that they deserve for doing with the things that they do? And tonight was a prime example of that, where you go out and you beat a Detroit Pistons team that everybody else has told me is a really good basketball team. So if that's the case, then what are the Milwaukee Bucks, who can beat the Detroit Pistons down like this? Oh, by the way, without a guy who's averaging 26 points a night.
Well, look, I think the Pistons are a good team. We're just better. It is what it is. There's levels to this thing. I'm not going to take anything away from the Pistons. They won 14 games last year. They turned around and had a absolutely remarkable turnaround in 1 year. The Bucks are just better. The Bucks are just head and shoulders better. Fellas, there's levels to this thing. Things aren't fair. Life's not fair. Some teams are just better than you, right? It's like this. Trey, you play college football. I did track and field. Justin, you play golf. Sometimes you get out there, good as you are, and ain't nothing you can do because the other team, the man across from you, is just better than you. That's just how this thing works. And that's kind of the thing with the Detroit team. I'm not going to take anything away from it. I'm going to tell you this right now. I respect this Detroit team a hell of a lot more than I respect the Pacers. I'll tell you that. I 100% respect this Detroit team way more than I respect the Pacers. And quite honestly, I mean, I hope this Detroit team gets in the first round and plays somebody in Rex shop. I do. If they're not playing us, I hope they get in the playoffs and upset somebody. That would be great.
Yeah, I hope everybody but us. I hope we just go upsets. Let's get a 5-8 for the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't care. As long as it leads to a Bucks championship parade, that's all that's all I care about, man. That's what we talk about all year, man. But hey, man, one thing about Detroit, man, and I can't. Daniel Joseph on his he on his Kevin Hart again. Said the boy they can look like he should be auditioning for Magic Mike 3. Lord have mercy. I can't read the chat with Daniel in here because he got the stand-up routine going. But anyways, one thing I say about
Detroit, I'm a choir got jokes too. That's funny.
Yeah. Hey, I will say this. Right. Detroit. Sorry. No, you're good, bro. Detroit, they got a lot of punk behavior with them. A lot of weak stuff. A lot of low-key Indiana front-running stuff with them. But I cannot discredit JB Bickerstaff and the job that he's done in Detroit this year. And I would say he has to be coach of the year, in my opinion. You go and you have a team that was basically a layup. You rest your starters when you played them last year. To now getting into the 6th seed of the playoffs, team has a lot of promise. I still think with the two guys they have down low, they're not really good enough down low. Like they're pseudo tough guys. I don't think Durant gives you enough basketball plays. And Isaiah Stewart, you're a WWF star. Sorry, not sorry.
Well, and that's what I agree with you that Beasley that JB Bickerstaff should be the coach of the year over Kenny Atkinson. But I think that the thing about what we talk about with the Detroit Pistons and basketball teams in general, if you come out and you play hard every single night, you win if you come out and play hard every single night, you will win. You can win 40 games. You can win 40 games in the NBA if you just come out and play hard as hell every night and have some decent players at least. But Detroit does that. They have a star, if you will, in Cade Cunningham, and they have a guy, and they go out and they play hard every single night. And so you have to give JB Bickerstaff credit for that. And you look at Monty Williams and be like, what the hell? What were you doing, dog? What were you doing, Monty? Because I still don't know. I want to address something that I've seen. Right. I want to address something I've seen that has been in the chat. A couple people have mentioned it now. We've already had this discussion, KPJ versus Rollins, and that was discussion for a while. I think that's been answered. Kevin Porter Jr. is the better player. Kevin Porter Jr. should start. The question, and I feel bad even asking it as a question, but I'm just saying what people have been talking about. People are saying that KPJ is better than Damian Lillard. Like, people are saying, I don't know if they're necessarily saying he's better than Damian Lillard. I think they're saying that he's better for this team than Damian Lillard. And again, I'm just saying, I'm reading what people in the chat. Now, I know people are, you said, no, I didn't say it. I'm saying what I've seen, and I'll just say this before you go, JT. I've seen it enough. It's like a one-off where somebody said it, and it's kind of, there have been multiple people who are starting with this. is KPJ better? I'm not going to entertain again. Is KPJ better than Dame as a mano a mano, man? No. But is he better for this team with the way it's constructed and how you may want to play fast and downhill and he plays defense? I mean, it's on the board as a question at least.
Here's an argument that I'll make. Because I agree with you. I don't think KPJ is a better player than Dame, right? I'm not even sure he's a better player for Dame than this team. But here's what I will argue. There is an argument that KPJ has had a bigger impact on this team in the back half of the season. I get it. Dame's been out for a little while too, but I think you could argue that KPJ's had a bigger. KPJ's probably honestly had the biggest impact outside of like GA in the second. I mean, since the trade deadline. I mean, is there a player that's had a bigger impact on this team?
No.
Right. That's what I'm saying, and I don't even think that's an argument. That's not a controversial take. That's not. I'm just going to tell you right now. Outside of Giannis, KPJ has been our most impactful player on this team in the second half of the season. I just don't think that's controversial.
I think that we should give John Horst a lot of credit for this entire trade deadline. I agree with you that KPJ has been the most impactful. I feel like Kyle Kuzma's done a great job for the time that he's played. He's had some up and down moments. I think Jericho Sims has done an amazing job as well. We got rid of a bunch of guys on this team who weren't even touching the floor to get these three gentlemen to come in. All three of the guys that we got rid of weren't touching the floor again. Is KPJ? No. I think KPJ is Dame's little brother. He's getting a lot of mentorship from him, and he's helping to coach him up as well. And I think KPJ is growing into an amazing basketball player. I love him coming off the bench. And I want to keep him coming off the bench because I just feel like he comes off the bench and he goes crazy. I feel like Ryan Rollins does a lot of good things as well. Great defensive guard, can make a timely three. But this is the thing. I think that KPJ sometimes, even if it's 2 minutes into the game and you sub him, I like the fact that KPJ and Ryan Rollins are at the top of the zone. I like the fact that KPJ, when he comes in off that bench, he just goes absolutely crazy and nothing stops him. It's a beautiful thing, and it's a great conversation to have, though, right? Like, it's a really good conversation. That lets you know John Horst has flaws. He definitely does. I think we've all talked about the drafting. But this is a great thing where you got three guys who can you can make an argument for all three of them to start at the one for your team.
Karan, go ahead, JC. Go ahead.
No, after you. Go ahead.
No, go. You go.
One thing I would say though, because Justin, I'm with you. It's tough. This KPJ dilemma is a bit difficult because, on one hand, there's the people who say, "Look, he needs to start. There's no reason he needs to start." But the other hand, it's like, yeah, but he's so good in his role. Like, that man is so good in his role. Do you really want to disrupt that? I don't know. I mean, I could go either way on this thing. I mean, I think his performance is becoming so strong that you really can't warrant keeping him on the bench unless you want to say, well, he's in his groove here and we've got this. We don't want to play with that now so close to the postseason.
I guess my thing is I hate the start. Tonight's start was not as bad. Let me tell you, the reason tonight's start was not as bad, I think the Bucks were down 4, and I think they got it. I think the most they were down was 4 in that first quarter at least, or something like that, and then they got it back to with the starting group they were down 4, and then I think they closed the quarter and I think they were only down 1 or something like that. But I think the reason was because Brook Lopez wasn't out there with again he was defending Jalen Duren. So he didn't have a 3-point threat that pulled him out of the paint. Okay, Cunningham killed some, but I'm just saying I think that helped. My issue and the reason why I say I think about really starting Kevin Porter Jr. is because the starts are so bad, and when you think about having to go play Indiana team, you're gonna have to go play Miles Turner, who's gonna be your 5. And the last time, what they tried to do when they played Indiana, they played Brook, I believe, on can't remember who did they have on them. They started Giannis on Miles Turner. No, excuse me. That was the New York game where they played Giannis on Cat, and then they had Brook on I believe Josh Hart. And so I think that's what they would try to do, something like that, where you put Giannis on Miles Turner, and then you try to put Brook on somebody else. But yeah, I think, and I'll say this too, just so everybody is understands this. the Kuzma thing, and before I know I kind of get out of track with the Kevin Porter Jr. thing, but Kuzma, I believe, is going to have a big impact in the Indiana series, because they have Pascal Siakam, who Kuzma defended well, and they have Tyrese Halliburton, who I think is a much bigger guard, who I don't know if you want to play. I don't know who you want to play on him. My guess is they're going to start. Kuzma on him, and Kuzma's gonna have to be much better defending off of screens. I don't know how. I feel like I got off track a little bit there, but my point on my main point I was trying to get to was Kevin Porter Jr.'s got to keep the offense flowing, and I feel like starting him off in games is gonna be better for him than bringing him off the bench, just because you just cannot have these bad starts. You really can't. I saw somebody in the chat who was saying that Al Ucard says, y'all talking crazy for real. Io says he's not better than Dame. I'm sorry, I can play Dame 45 minutes, not him, at least not yet. I think that's true as well. And then somebody, I think Al Ucard had another comment. I can't find it. He says, bro had a good couple games, and y'all saying this BS, y'all tripping. And then when you say y'all, I don't know if he's talking about us or if he's talking about the chat, because the chat there's stuff in the chat going on about Kevin Porter Jr. But I'll just say this, I think that, again, the question is, it's really about the team. And I think Kevin Porter Jr. does some different things for the team. Remember the last game, I said Dame couldn't have won the game like that. He can win the game another way. And again, the difference is Damian Lillard, we go back to skill sets, he's a scoring guard, and I think he can pass the ball as well, but he's always looking to score. Kevin Porter Jr. is looking to score. He's looking to play make a lot, whether that's scoring or whether that's with the pass. He's really always looking to make plays, and that's a little bit different from Damian Lillard. And I think the question is, when you have a Giannis, should you be should your point guard be looking more to make plays because Giannis is there, or should they be looking solely to score for themselves? That's the difference with Dame. Herman James says Dame is too focused on drawing fouls and shooting a lot of threes. And again, that's one of the big differences. I think Dame is almost at his best when he's getting screens and getting downhill so he can try to make a play. But Damian Lillard is always, a lot of times he's always looking, instead of trying to get downhill, how can I get to my side step for a three? Which again, when he's hitting it, it's great. But I'm talking about for this basketball team, I don't know. You look at Giannis, 4 out of 5 triple doubles. The Bucks are also 14-8. I saw the stat. Bucks are 14-8 right now without Damian Lillard. Again, I'm not saying that means anything. I'm just saying that's what it is. One more time, NYC Dean with Super Chat says the expectations for KPJ and Dame are not the same. KPJ gets 17, and it's great and amazing. Dame gets 20, 25, and it's underwhelming. Dame is better simple. My only question there for him, and it's a great point, but the other thing is, let's just be honest, Kevin Porter Jr. also is a better defender as well. So it's 17, and I can stay in front of my guy and come up with steals and play better off ball. Is that better for this team, or is 20-25 when you have to? Again, I'm just asking the question.
Man, I'm gonna go like it's tough. I think each game and each matchup will be indicative of something different. So you'll need those day minutes at some point, and you'll need the KPJ. But one thing I just want to caution the chat, the Bucks Twitter, everyone. We do this with a lot of guys. We get a guy. We did this with Ryan Rollins at the beginning of the year. We've done it with AJ Green. We've done it with Ajax. We put these guys up there. We build them up, and then they have a bad game, and then y'all want to get him off the team. Throw him out of here. He's terrible. KPJ at some point will not play up to this level, and we got to understand that he's just growing. Damian Lillard, for all the talk about it, Damian Lillard was top 75 at 75 for a reason. Damian Lillard is a back-to-back Milwaukee Buck guard. I don't remember the last time we've had a guard go back-to-back as all-star appearances in, gosh, forever. Maybe Ray Allen days it'd have to be, right? We just got to, like, it's okay to have it. It's okay to have the discussion. I think there's a lot of good things going on. The most important thing is that we clinch and we're in a good spot. My guy Terrence said he was at.
I was going to mention that. Terrence says he enjoyed. Someone asked Terrence, How was it? He says, I enjoyed the game at Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill for the first time to watch our Bucks clinch the 5 seed and make Malik Beasley look salty after that block by Giannis Terrence. But did you tell him the guru sent you? Did you tell him the
I like it, Terrence. I like it. Tell us how the wings work.
How did it go? Yeah, please
tell us how the wings work.
Tell us how that was.
And we need to know how many of them $3 joints you had tonight. How many did you get? Did you drink about the table?
I want to stay here. Al McGuire says, guys, so there's another question. Is Dame worth $48 million more than Kevin Porter Jr.? He says, hell no. So again, but that's the difference. And so it goes back to NYC's chat point where he says the expectations are different. Kevin Porter Jr. 17 is great. Dame is 20 and 25 and it's underwhelming. Dame is better. But Dame makes $48 million more dollars. Dame makes $50 million. Kevin Porter Jr. So yes, the 20. When you tell me he scored 20, that is underwhelming. If I got a guy, I'm just cleaning this out. If a guy who's on a minimum deal who comes in for Marjan Beauchamp is giving me 17 with great defense, is the 22 points from Damian Lillard, who's making $50 million, it's going to look underwhelming, is it not?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Didn't Doc call him Marshawn half the year too? Sorry, that's why I was laughing.
Yeah, he did.
Marshawn.
He called the brother.
Is that just age? Is that just what people do when you just can't say people's name right? Just be making up stuff like. Just maybe they can't hear it. I don't know.
Al Ucar says I'm a Dame fan. That's why I'm with the Bucks. I'm with this Bucks team, and that's there's the Dame group. We had issues last year with the Dame stands. Who again are you a Dame fan or are you a Bucks fan? That's a big distinguishing point. But he says I don't like all the talk. My boy is an all-time great, and y'all talking crazy. Ain't no universe we live in where KPJ is better than Dame. And Al Ucar, I agree with you. That's not what we're again. Nobody said.
That's not what we're saying.
Nobody pound for pound, Damian Lillard is better than KPJ. I don't think there's any question. The question on the floor was, when you consider it all, fit for team and contract value, right now, Kevin, when you think about what he's making, it is hard to argue when you talk about what he's making. And I think you have to keep that in mind. He's overplaying his value. And yes, and that was a great point from NYC Dean. When you look at it, and they're somewhat close in what they're doing stat-wise, yeah, it looks a little shaky in the light, especially when the other guy making $50 million is going 32, 15, and 11 every other night. Like that, and I look at that and go, okay, that's what $50 million is supposed to look like. You see what I'm saying? You see what Cade Cunningham, 36 and 12. That's what a max player is supposed. We went through this all year last year. Remember that JT on the show with Chris King, where we kept asking, why does every guard outplay Damian Lillard? Every night, the other guard would outplay him, and the other guard would outplay him. Every time he had a big time match, the other guard would outplay him. And that's where the Dame Bros came in. And for what's worth, I thought Dame had a great year this year. Great year.
Absolutely. Great year.
He had an absolutely great year, and hopefully he comes back. But yeah, I think there are just questions about what makes the most sense. And again, I'm not saying he replaces Damian Lillard. And if Damian Lillard's back, again, I would start him and Dame together and try to see if we can work that thing out. And again, I think if you have Damian Lillard, KPJ, and Giannis, could that be your quote unquote big three? Could that be your Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, Giannis? I don't know.
I think one thing that we learned tonight, and Marcus Johnson brought it up, as far as Malik Beasley having to be in that backcourt next to Dame last year, forced him to become a better defender. And you don't have to force KPJ to become a better defender next to Damian Lillard. KPJ is already a better defender than what Malik Beasley will ever aspire to be. The thing that I'm going to say about Damian Lillard, and I see a lot of people in the chat talking about trade him. How much you say he making next year?
Next year, I think it goes up to like 54. I don't know. It's like 60 next year, ain't it? What is it? It's like 58. I don't know. What is he making next year? It's something crazy. It's a crazy number.
But that's my point as far as trading him. Like, we can't just say, oh, we don't want this guy on the Bucks anymore, so we're going to trade him. And by the way, we want this player, that player, this player. We saw this year when it was time to move Middleton how we couldn't find a deal except for your boy right here.
Well, I would think Dame does have a better value to me than Chris Middleton.
He's still coming off a year that he had to shut it down completely, and he's going to be making more than the entire Toronto Raptors team next year.
Well, we'll see what it looks like in the playoffs. Hopefully he comes back. We'll see what it looks like in the playoffs. We'll see what it looks like. Chris King says 136 in here, and the likes do not show it. Get them right, Chris King. Get them right, Chris King. The Bucks just clinched the 5 seed. I don't know why we not get like it up if you're happy that the Bucks just clinched the 5 seed. 100%, man. And then I also said, unfortunately, the argument is still flawed. KPJ, this is a good point. KPJ cannot run your offense. Dame can. Sure, he looks good because Giannis is literally playing guard and giving 10 plus assists. That is a good point. And then there goes your question, Io, because again, there's your question, because the common thought is, well, Dame has to have the ball. Well, you're seeing now the Bucks 14-8 without Dame, and how they've looked in the last 2 weeks of the season right now, with Giannis controlling the game as your de facto point guard for a lot of stretches. So again, we get back to, can Giannis just be that guy that is if you're averaging triple doubles, I think it's a hard argument to say Giannis can't just be the main facilitator that runs the offense. That's what you're seeing. I don't know. And I'd agree, Martin Moose, that Prime Chris was better, mainly because Prime Chris was a big time wing defender. Kevin Porter Jr. is not that. I think he's serviceable. I think he's good off ball. He can post head and get some steals. He's serviceable. Yeah, he's not prime. He can't shoot the 3 ball like Chris Middleton can. And with the accuracy of a Chris Middleton, and like I said, Chris Middleton again at his best, he could defend guys like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, those type of big wing type players, 100%. You know, he can't anymore because he got the bad will, but he used to back in that day when he wasn't looking like James Bouyea. Boy, he's hell on wheels right there. He played that defense. Where you guys want to go next? Let's talk for a second. I have rest here. The Bucks are gonna get some rest Sunday. I don't know who's gonna play. It's probably gonna be a lot of stretch where they're getting some rest. And let's talk for a second about this game they're gonna have with the Indiana Pacers. This series they're gonna have with the Indiana Pacers. I would say that this is exactly what I wanted to do. And, you know, again, we're going to – I know there's, you know, Mark, Miggy, and Ty. I'm going to move us past the Dame talk now. I think we did it. We'll move past it. There'll be plenty of time for it offseason and whatnot, about trades and all that stuff. We got to get through the rest of this season, because I don't think this season's done. Clearly. And I think we're going to get past the first round. But the question now is, you have a series with the Indiana Pacers. This is what I wanted. I would argue this is exactly what I wanted when the season started. If you could told me the Bucks are going to go with Giannis healthy to play, of course I want Damian Lillard. But if you told me you're going to get a rematch with the Indiana Pacers first round, I would have said bring it. I think this is going to be personal. I think it's going to be chippy. I think it's going to be a series where Indiana thinks that they can. I believe they're going to think that they can win. And the other thing I'll say about this is, you're really not seeing at all the same Milwaukee Bucks basketball team. Think when you really think about this, from last year to this year, the only thing that's going to be a real constant is Brook Lopez. Outside of that, you didn't have Taurean Prince. You weren't playing Taurean Prince. I'm just saying it's a different line. Taurean Prince is new. Ryan Reynolds is going to be new. Kyle Kuzma is going to be new. Kevin Porter Jr. is going to be new. I guess Bobby Portis, you saw him, and guess who else is going to be new? Most importantly, Giannis. You didn't see Giannis last year either. So the Indiana I think this year you went 1-3 against them, and you should have been 0-4. You should have got swept by the Bucks because you won on a 3 ball from the corner that with a phantom foul and mixed in between with it when you running plays like you're on Madden to get the shot up. So I guess what I'm saying is, I don't know how. I think the Indiana Pacers and their fans, Gary Trent as well, Taz, man, good point. Yep. I think the Indiana Pacers, Jericho Sims as well, I think that the Indiana Pacers and their fans are going to feel this confidence, this false sense of confidence, like, we just beat the Bucks last year in a series, but you really didn't beat these Bucks at all. So AJ Green wasn't really playing in the playoffs. This is really a totally different team, and even down to the Bucks' best player. Yeah, instead of their Bucks' best player being Chris Middleton, because he was available for that series, and Damian Lillard for 2.5 games, the best player is going to be Giannis. So I that's a big difference from what the Indiana Pacers saw last year.
The other thing you got to think about too is either way we split it, either way you put it. Last year was probably one of the more dysfunctional years we've seen for this Bucks team in a very, very, very long time. I mean, from the debacle with Dr. Griffin and Terry Stotts, Dame coming in late, and you get rid of Dr. Griffin halfway through the first year, bringing in I mean, that does play a factor into that first round loss too. Like you can't. That's the elephant in the room here. Like what the hell were we doing from an organizational perspective, thinking that we can make the midseason change with somebody who was kind of in the building but not really in the building. The team had no time to prep with that man, and they literally were just trying to figure this thing out on the fly, right? Like that. Then you add that to the injury to Giannis too. I mean, what did y'all expect? Like, I mean, honestly, like what did we really expect here? Like last year was probably the absolute worst case scenario for the Bucks in a long time going into the playoffs. There's no question about that. That's not the case this year. This is a team, and I think you've alluded to this, Trey. This is a team that looks like they bought into what Doc is preaching. They bought in. They're locked in. This team is focused. Role players are playing. Their guys are stepping up. Everybody's there. This is a team. You're right. I think the Pacers think, oh, we could beat the Bucks. We beat them last year. But there's nothing about this team that says this is the same exact squad. Not at all. Especially not since the trade deadline. I don't know. I think if I'm Indiana, I mean, I'm expecting this thing to probably go 7. If I'm a Bucks fan, I'm expecting it to go less than that.
Yeah, man. Like one of the biggest things you don't want to do is you don't want to face Mr. Antetokounmpo with a chip on his shoulder with something to prove. Because we've seen it time and time again. When you push this cat up against a wall, he comes out swinging, and that's what you're gonna see. Miles Turner, Obi Toppin, Nemhart, and all them boys were celebrating and doing all this stuff and dancing on his injured calf last year and thought it was funny. They had all the stuff to say, all the T-shirts and the memes and everything else these Indiana folks get. Hey, buckle up, man. I'm looking for the Bucks to take this real personal, and I wouldn't be surprised we go into Indiana and win the first 2 games.
I wouldn't either.
Like, we're pissed. But, Trey, you mentioned a lot of the guys that we had new. Don't forget, Doc finally has his coaches here as well, too. Mm-hmm. It's not the guys that Griffin had or anything else like that. And, JT, you're spot on with it being the most dysfunctional year as a Milwaukee Bucks fans, the infighting amongst the fans, infighting amongst the team, everything like that with the coaches, with the leadership. And someone else, I think, mentioned in the chat, we also had Pat Bev on his last NBA leg playing starter minutes in that series. Tyrese Halliburton, it's a lot different when you're going up against Ryan Rollins, KPJ, Kyle Kuzma, potentially Ajax, potentially AJ Green. Whoever we have on you defensively is better than anything we had last year. That's no slight at Pat Bev. I think he did the best he could in his senior point of his career. Hey, man, I can't wait. Let's strap in. Let's lock in. Let's put these black gloves on. Let's go start slapping people.
I'm with it. Superfly guy, appreciate his super chat. He says, hello from Greece. I'm getting 2021 Heat vibes. Good point. Again, yeah, remember in 2021 where the Bucks lost to the Heat in the bubble in 2020, came back in 2021, they pulled them brooms out and swept them boys. Marty Moose says, I was on a Pat Bev train last year. We were down bad. Agreed. Yes, I was. It is so different. The vibe. I don't think I think there's not enough being made of that point that this, like y'all talking about, Gallinari was getting prime time, was getting minutes. Somebody asked where he is. I think he's overseas right now playing. So I mean, you had Gallo playing, you had Pat Bev playing. Those are 2 guys that aren't even on NBA. 1 year removed, they're not even on NBA rosters anymore. Pat Bev is doing podcasts for Barstool. He was playing, I believe, in Israel. Gallo's playing somewhere overseas. So what the hell Jay Crowder doing right now? Like those are guys we were playing. So it is a very different basketball team that you're gonna have to go down and that the Indiana Pacers gonna have to beat. And it took them 6 games to get past that team. So I feel very good. KPJ, I'm looking at one of the quotes he had. You talked about JT, about potential KPJ coming back. He said, quote, tonight, he's one of the greatest, talking about Giannis, he's one of the greatest lob threats I've ever played with. I just toss it up there and trust he's going to figure it out and get it. We just got to keep repping that. He's one of the greatest ever. It's crazy. So, again, when you think about that and you think about where you're going to go next, are you thinking about money? Which again, you could be, you 100% could be, or do you want to get to a spot where it's like, damn, this team's giving me a chance. I got a chance to continue playing hard, and I get a chance to play with one of the greatest of all time instead of getting traded. Maybe you get traded to a Washington Wizards, and you out there playing with AJ Johnson and Chris and one leg Chris Middleton and Marcus Smart and them boys out there. I don't know. You see what I'm saying? Like, there is something to playing with really good players. And so listen, man, I like what we got going in Indiana. I would be, if Giannis is healthy for that entire series. I don't know what the I wonder what the numbers are going to be for the series for the like DraftKings for the betting lines as far as the series goes. I think right now if I had to put my money on something, I would go Bucks in 6 or less. I really think they could do it if they were home. I would almost say 5, but I'm for some reason only because I don't know how much Doc is going to really use optimal lineups and Giannis at the 5 and what he's going to do with Brook Lopez. I will give it 6 games, but this is turned, even if Damian Lillard doesn't play, this is turned into, to me, a must-win first-round series. That is, to me, it is disappointing if you can't get out of the first round.
If you have a healthy G, 100%. A healthy G, yes, you have to get out of the first round this year. There's no question. I agree. You got a healthy Giannis. Yes, we have to win this first round. I think we are unanimous on that. You know, you cannot have another first round exit this year. I personally, as a Bucks fan, I am afraid at the thought of a first round exit this year because I know I think at that point all bets are off. You have no idea what's going to happen at that point.
Yeah, it'll definitely put a big divide in this fan base and separate us even further if we had one of those. But I just trust 34, man. I don't think we're going to see that. Couple quick fact cleanups. Danilo Gallinari is now playing in Beaumont, Puerto Rico. He's in Puerto Rico. He's out there. And Joe Louis was born in Lafayette, Alabama. Lived there until he was 12 years old, until his family had an attack from the Ku Klux Klan, and he moved to Detroit, Michigan.
Okay.
Spot on.
Got it. I knew it was something like that. I didn't know it was from Alabama. I didn't know the backstory for Joe Louis. So that's good stuff. Quick draw.
Alabama kind of been trash for the longest time. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I got family down there in Alabama too. Now,
shout out to Troy University.
I know it stinks. Like, I mean, it just is. I'm sorry to anybody here who's from Alabama. You know, definitely don't mean to offend you, but I'm just gonna be honest. Like, your state is shit. Like, I just don't know. Like, it's like Chuck going in on San Antonio. Like, where's the lie in anything that Charles Barkley said? Like, tell me. Like, who here about to ride for? What, you go ride for Mobile? You gonna ride for Birmingham?
I think about the only thing ride for is Bama football. That's about it.
Right. Okay. And how many of you? Let me ask you this: are you gonna go walk around Tuscaloosa? No.
So
no.
Shout out to WP Davidson High School, where my son graduated in Mobile, Alabama. My daughter's currently a junior playing softball out there.
The state still trash. They're good people though, but the state still sucks. I mean, like, I'm just saying, like, listen, I can't get there, Justin. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to hate on them for Alabama, but the state is shit. Like, look, like, I mean, what metric do you need to see that, like, they're weighing down the rest of the 50? Like,
I can't even breathe. Shout out to Troy, Alabama, Troy University. Shout out to the Robert Trent Jones Golf Course. It's probably the best group of golf courses in the entire state of America. And shout out to Birmingham, Alabama, which has amazing barbecue, amazing restaurants. It's a great time, man. It's a vibe. But
what you shouting them out for? Segregation? What? What you shouting them out for? Segregation?
Nah, that's just where,
Integration. Shout out to Birmingham for integration now in 2025.
Integrate. All right,
I'm sorry. I just have no patience. Shout out to Birmingham for integration.
Say bull.
Trash. I can't.
You say bull. What did Bull Connor was down there? Was Bull Connor in Alabama? Was he Alabama?
Bull Connor, I don't know. Was he Georgia?
I don't know where he was at. But anyway, Al McGuire says
George
the first
Robinson,
round
I don't know
exit
why.
would end the Giannis era for sure. I still don't know if that's true, but again, maybe. I know that would make there would be a lot of changes if that happened. George Garrett says Bucks in 6 because bum Tyrese Halliburton will do some improbable BS for 2 games. Go Bucks. And then Rick Hammond says if Dame comes back for game 1 of the playoffs, we're in trouble. I disagree with that. I disagree with that.
They're in trouble.
Yeah, I think that's going back to this thought process that the Bucks aren't that Damian Lillard's a problem and he's an issue with the basketball team. I don't think that happens, but I do think Damian Lillard should be watching from the bench and should be seeing that, hey, you can run the team a different way. Like, you don't have to always look for that step back 3. And you do have to recognize, as good as Dame is, like we talk about that top 75, wherever you want to look at that top 75, you're below Giannis. So that's the number. Like I think sometimes people think it's like a 1A, 1B. It really is. Giannis is 1. Like I don't think there's a difference there. Karan Jammer Kenner says shout out to Alabama State, HBCU. But yes, Alabama, the state is trash.
Where's the line here? Like, and I don't see how you. I feel bad. So Marty Moose says it's not segregated before anymore. I beg the difference. I know some folks down there who said it is. Right now, there's not Jim Crow laws and stuff in place clearly because that's been gone for X amount of years. But they were like, listen, there are plenty of places where one race is on one side of town, the other race is on the other side of town. Folks don't mix like that.
Well, where you can mix at. Curly's Waterfront
Sports
Bar.
That's a hell of a wow.
You can mix around at Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar. Wow. You can mix the drinks. You can do whatever you want to do at Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. Get on out there to Curly's. They appreciate the segue, JT. Getting out there in Lakeview Boulevard, Pewaukee, Wisconsin. Man, go out there to Curly's. Have a good time. Enjoy some good food. Enjoy some good eats. Sunday, last televised game for the Milwaukee Bucks. They put that one on ESPN for some reason, even though ain't nobody. Listen, you know what? That's what ESPN gets. Now I got to change my flow up. Why the hell did you think you thought we was going to lose? You thought that was going to be some big-time game? Bucks Pistons Sunday? Oh, we're going to throw our own grenade to the league and to Adam Silver because we ain't showing up, big dog. You should have put somebody else on TV. Who else at 1 o'clock? I don't know. But I don't know why you thought Bucks Pistons was going to be something special, because it ain't. It was going to be noon in Central Time Zone. Bucks already took care of business. But y'all want to put this on ESPN? Enjoy the show. Enjoy Ajax and Stanley Umedi. I hope James Bouye get to start. I hope Chris Livingston is out there ball. All the bums, go ahead and bring them out there. Let Vin Baker get some run too while you're at it, and we can go ahead and get rid of this and get rid of the Detroit Pistons. Have some fun in the final home game of the year. But going out to Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill, tell them the Guru sent you. Tell them the Cream City Crossover sent you. Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill, proud sponsor of the Cream City Crossover. It's already passed. I gotta get at my guy, and we'll see what the new promotions are. Well, maybe he gives away playoff tickets. I don't know. I'll talk to him and figure out what the new promotions are as we progress moving forward. Go ahead.
But you can't get a Sunday morning brunch with a beer for $3.
There you go.
You got the
$3 bottles and pints out there.
National televised game. Justin, folks will go hit that Costco in Pewaukee and then go get lunch, go get brunch at Curly's. Is that what you're saying? I'm with it.
Drink Curly's out them 3. We need Curly's to have to restock before the playoffs come in.
Yes, sir.
So Terrence, you still ain't answered us how many you had, because we need to know.
Yeah, he done had so many. He can't keep up. He had already fell asleep. Let's go to Twitter and then we'll do game balls coming up here. The Twitter, let's see what they were talking about tonight after the Bucks' big win. At J Phil in Texas says that starting Bull-S roster for both three-peats missed like 15 combined games. Oh, Bulls. Sorry, I thought he was trying to say the Bucks bullshit roster. That starting Bulls roster for both three-peats missed like 15 combined games total as a group. Health has always been a top 3 reason people win chips. I don't know how that had anything to do with the game tonight, but okay. Eagle Rugby 58 says, say what you will, but Horst pulled off the heist of the century. Literally traded this dude for a pack of Marlboro Lights and a six pack of PBR. It's on Marjan, and we're getting Kevin Porter Jr. At Sunk 345 says, if we down all the dumb plays and turnovers we do every game, I legitimately think this is the third seed in the East right now. At Jules ESQ says, another dominant stint by Giannis and bench lineups, as Shannon Sharp would say, Giannis with AJ, GTJ, KPJ, Bucks in 5. At It's Too Easy WTA says, I love Dame, but for all those Dame fans going at Giannis for not getting off the ball, this is what it looks like when Giannis has the ball all the time. 4th triple-double in the last 5 games, and he's making the role players better game after game. At Drew Barringer says, also, Giannis is more than capable of taking this Bucks team on a 2018 LeBron Cavs type run. Drew Barringer is hilarious because, again, every loss, he says the season's over. Every win now he's saying that the Bucks can go on a 2018 Cavs run. A few more here. At E Ryan's 99 says, we really missed those Bobby Portis rebounds. At Jay Horvath says, Giannis is the point guard, and that closing lineup is very impressive. KPJ is a special talent. And last one here, at the Wisconsin Kid says, Bucks in 5 versus the Pacers. Keep Lopez, Kuz, and Prince on that bench. So, yeah, here we go.
Hey, I got something about that Bulls, because I thought that was kind of a good point, man. That Bulls, that first championship run, you remember Bill Cartwright was your starting 5. Bill Cartwright would get in there in the beginning of the game. They'd run a couple sets for him. He made a couple baskets, and then he would retreat to the bench, and they put somebody more athletic in. Same thing with their second 3-peat would look longer. So maybe that's a role we can incorporate Brook Lopez into. Get him in there, get a couple runs, get a couple shots made, and then we kind of switch it out, bring somebody else in.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's what you want to see. And I think, again, man, this is the only thing I want to say. I'm going to switch gears for a second before we go to game balls. I think, again, there are roles for Kevin, because Taurean Prince, he can shoot the lights out the ball. Brook Lopez, you saw him tonight, got back to the basket and can get buckets in the cup, especially when, for whatever reason, the Detroit Pistons kept putting Tobias Harris down there on him, and he was finding that mismatch and did a really good job. That's a good one for Shells. Miles Turner, Tina Turner, Katie's burner, Bucks in 5. But even Kuzma, man, again, the Bucks team is deeper than I think people realize, and I know it's just easy to say Kuzma. I saw somebody in the chat talking about they didn't understand all the Kuzma hate, which again I think again the Kuzma hate generates from people just being still upset that he was traded for Chris Middleton. Again, it's one of those expectations things we talked about kind of with Dame, where Kevin Porter Jr. People, what's the greatest point to be is the backup quarterback, because you don't have so it's like kind of things where KPJ is the backup point guard, and so yeah, it looks good when it's 25-30 minutes. What does it look like if Kevin Porter Jr. is playing the entire year and you asking for 35 minutes a night? I don't know. That remains to be seen whether that may happen or what the deal is. But even a Kuzma, man, if you can go in there, not be stupid, hit your layups, hit your shots at the rim, hit the occasional 3, play good defense, you're fine. And again, and that's why this whole thing, I think people are like, he doesn't close games. I don't really care if he closes a game or not. Can you provide some decent minutes and place? And again, I think it's big that you can put him on a Tyrese Halliburton or Cade Cunningham. You can put him on him, and again, that Cade Cunningham killed tonight. There's no question about it. But I thought if you watch, I thought he was there. Again, I think there was a stat that showed that Kyle Kuzma and AJ Green for the month of April were the top 2 defenders in the league for opposing shot percentage, for lowest opposing shot percentage against them while they were guarding a player. So again, there are some capabilities that are good. You have to play to his strengths. He's a very limited player. But to me, it's just all about how you use him. And I think, again, goes back to expectations. If for whatever reason you thought that Kyle Kuzma was here to finish games and beat Chris Middleton and score 20, 25 points a night and play in the clutch and here comes, that's never what it was about. I think his offense is a plus, Get you what he finished with tonight? 10 points. Get me somewhere. What he finished with? 10 points. Get me somewhere between 10 and 15 points a night. He was 3 of 7 night, 42%. Get me somewhere in between there, 10 to 15, and play good defense. And if you finish the game, finish the game. If you don't, ain't nothing wrong. He played 22 minutes tonight. That's fine. That's fine. If we got a group out there that's doing what they need to do. And again, I really think a series. If you play Boston, that's a series that you're gonna need him just because he's a big time. He's a big wing defender. And I saw somebody else in the chat talking about how the Knicks and the Pacers are losing on purpose so they can play the Bucks. That's just not true. Again, they're trying to duck the Boston Celtics, but again, it's going to end up being a 4-5 matchup between the Bucks and the Pacers. Anything else before we get to game balls?
I just had one thing, man, and I know I said I wasn't going to talk about him all the time anymore. I try not to, so we're going to put $5 into the back front tonight because I'm going to mention Chris Middleton. And you see it on Twitter, you see it in the chat, you see it everywhere. I mean, we've said it umpteen times. I learned that word when I got to the South. Umpteen. We saw Middleton have 2 games this year where he scored 0 and he played. Like, stop this facade that we traded him. We traded Prime Middleton. Like, you just got to put it in a proper perspective. What Kuzma did tonight, his worst games are 8 and 9 points. Good effort on the defensive end. Couple few rebounds here. Couple few assists here. He's here, though. He's here. And he has not left this team. He has not missed a team. We saw the brother roll his ankle. Was it against the Hawks?
I believe so. He kept playing. I know that.
Yeah, he is such a warm welcome to this team. Bobby Portis talked about it tonight. He's versatile. He can do things that are going to really impact winning. And I know we're never going to hear the end of this Middleton thing and all that stuff. And we'll all through the offseason, and then it'll be trade Kuzma, do this, do that. I don't even know if you trade the guy in the offseason. He has a value on this team. And it's going to show up in these playoffs, I believe.
That's what we want to see. Daniel Orton with the super chat. Appreciate it. He says Beasley's a bum. That's all. Go Bucks. Yeah, he is. He absolutely is. That was just such bush league from Bees, man. Why you upset? It was just funny to me that you're upset when you do it. Again, I understood it from Jaylen Brown. I didn't get it from Beasley. You can't shimmy all night and then be upset.
But I think it was that dude, you want to beat me, but you can't. I think it was him that asked the question. He asked the question a couple times about, are y'all tired of Giannis being silly and not being serious all the time?
I didn't see that.
I'll go first. For me,
go ahead.
I don't have a problem with it. Have fun. You're playing a game of basketball. You should have fun. Now, the Jaylen Brown stuff wasn't that big of a deal. I just feel like Jaylen was a little bit uptight about it because the game wasn't going in his way. Clearly, Malik, the worst Malik ever to come in the state, because Malik, what's his name? Malik Willis owns the state now. That's the only Maliks we recognize in Wisconsin. But anyways.
Brother Malik, yes, sir.
Malik was a little hurt. He was hurt. He got his jump swatted. He knew that they were going to the 6th seed. Everything that he aspired, he talked trash the entire game. Every shot Malik Beasley made that night, he looked over at our Bucks bench and he said something. So Giannis, have fun, do the little Beasley shake and all that stuff. I don't have a problem with it, homie. Keep doing it, man. Have fun. As long as we keep beating people too, that's all that matters.
Let me just real quick, right? Go ahead and give y'all an old proverb from the early 2000s. Don't start none, won't be none. Y'all already know. You better ask them young bloods. Y'all better ask them young bloods. Don't start none and won't be none. And Beasley, look, Beasley, you're 100% right. You doing all this to the bench and everything else, and you clowning. Okay, we're going to have some fun back. Oh, and by the way, when it mattered, I'm really about to show out. And I don't have no problem with Giannis doing that. Because the thing is, these guys are teammates. They had a relationship. They may even still be friends now, too. It was all in good fun. He wasn't being a poor sport. They, I didn't have an issue with it, and quite honestly, the way they played tonight, closing out this game, to have a light moment like that in a moment so tense, and to get the performance that we get, I'm okay with it. I'm good with it. Now, I would have said if Giannis was clowning and the Bucks ended up losing, I'd be like, oh, come on, man. Like, what are we doing? We're playing. But, it is what it is. Uh-oh. Somebody got something crazy in there?
What's that?
Rick Hamilton, man.
Oh, Rick Hamilton wilding?
Talking about tattoos?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
All right, man. We need the game balls.
yeah, no, I didn't get to talk. No, I think on the on the shimmy, I talking about Giannis being goofy. Nah, I don't have a problem with it. Basically, is how I feel. Like I just don't have a problem with it at all. Who cares? I think my issue is it's his personality, and so if it was something I thought was fake, I would have more of a problem with it. But I don't think it's fake. I think it's him. He's the guy that goes up on the podium and gives dad jokes. He's the guy who, that's just him. So no, I don't have a problem with it. Like you said, JT, yeah, if you losing, yeah, I don't want to see that kind of stuff when you're down. But if you win it, especially somebody's been doing that to you, yeah, I'm good. I'm good with it. I don't have any problem with it. I says y'all like Chris was a multiple time all-star. I don't get the I don't get what he's getting at. But okay. You got game balls?
Good game balls.
All right. Where you guys going? Go ahead.
I'm gonna let Trey start, and I'll go next.
All right, yeah, I'll start it off then. Yeah, to me, it's no question. It's going to Giannis tonight. 32, 11, and 15. 1 steal, 2 blocks, 11 of 22, 10 of 11 from the free throw line, a plus 22 on the night. I thought Giannis was, again, I talked about it. I thought he had his thumb on the game tonight. I thought he was incredible. Just showed you every bit of why he's an MVP caliber player. He's top 3 MVP every other year, every single year, basically. This is an MVP caliber year for him as well. I think Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, because of team record and because of his play, and I think Joker because of his play, they're gonna finish in front of him. But any other year, I think this was definitely MVP worthy season for Giannis. So for the entire year, and I thought for tonight's game, Giannis gets my game ball tonight, aka Greek Freak, aka shimmy in your face, aka stand over you, aka how that thing tastes.
Oh man! Wow!
Pick your mic up and drop it.
Wow! All right, I'll go second unless Justin want to go. I'll go second. I'm going Bobby Portis time for my game ball back. 7 for 13 from the field, 1 for 3 from 3, 10 rebounds, 17 points. Play hard. Welcome back, Bobby Portis, aka fresher than a pack of white tees, aka puts up double doubles better than McDonald's, aka ain't got an OnlyFans but still selling thrills. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bobby Portis time. This my game ball. Here we go.
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure, though. Dang, y'all boys did good. Man, I think big reason why we won this basketball game. I think when he walked in the arena, they yelled, "Shooter!" AJ Green, aka ain't no barely, it's dairy, aka hold this milk, aka Malik, brother Malik, hold this cheese, aka shooter, aka he better than Billy Hall.
All right, here we go. I was gonna hold this milk. Crazy. Good stuff.
Hold his milk.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Man.
That's a good one. All right, man. Hey, yo. Good stuff, fellas. Let's do it, man. Good stuff all the way around. Bucks win 125-119. I'm excited, man. Again, if you're excited about the Bucks winning, if you're excited about the 5 seed, you got to hit that like button for us. Bucks win tonight. Let's look around the NBA. 128-102, 4 minutes left to play in the fourth quarter. Thunder's up over the Jazz. The Clippers are up over the Kings. The Western Conference, it's fascinating with how everything could go in the West. But 56-51 right now. Clippers are up over the Kings. The Warriors are up big over the Blazers. The Suns are up over the Spurs. Their season's done. Lakers right now are up 17 over the Rockets. The Rockets, I believe they don't have anything to play for. Hawks are up over the Sixers. Hawks win over the Sixers. The Magic beat the Pacers. Pacers rested everybody. The Cavs beat the Knicks. Knicks, I think we're trying to lose as well. Celtics beat the Hornets tonight. The Heat put up 153 on the Pelicans. How the hell they get 153 on them boys? Wow, a lot of guys double figures. 23 from Adebayo, 22 from Hero, 21 from Duncan Robinson, 11 from Mitchell, 11 from Jaime Jaquez. Yeah, they went crazy on them boys tonight. Ware had 10 and 11. Good stuff from the Heat. Bulls beat the Wizards tonight, 119-89. Let's see what we got here. AJ Johnson. Good Lord. 8 points, 3 of 13 from the field. Ooh, 5 fouls, 3 turnovers.
Mm. Mm.
What's the plus minus?
Let's see. Minus 34. Let's see who else played. No, I don't see Chris Middleton. All right. I guess he ain't play. Presented without commentary. Mavericks 124-102 over the Raptors. The Nuggets beat the Grizzlies tonight. Timberwolves beat the Nets. That's how that went. There's a host of games on Sunday that are going to determine some seeding stuff as well. If you look out right now, I believe everything is set. I believe everything is set in the East. Is that right? Is everything does New York hold a tiebreaker over the Pacers? I believe they. If New York holds a tiebreaker over the Pacers, I think they do. Then that means that's done. Even though they tried to lose their way to the 4 seed, the Knicks are going to be. So I think the top 6 in the East is done. It's going to be Cleveland versus whoever went. Well, with the playing stuff, so we can really just do the 3-6 is going to be New York, Detroit. The 4-5 is going to be Indiana, Milwaukee. Boston is going to play, I guess, the 7 seed, which I guess it could be Orlando or Atlanta. I can see either one of those teams winning that. And then I think the playing is gonna be interesting because Chicago's played very well. I would love to see Chicago fight their way into the playoffs and be the 8 seed. I think they're playing better than Orlando is right now. So what I would like for. Well, let me say no. I would like for Orlando to win that 7-8 and be the 7. And then I would like for Chicago to beat Miami, and then for Chicago to beat Atlanta, and for them to be your 8 seed, and maybe they can get Cleveland to at least not get a sweep. And then if you look in the West, you have OKC at the top, OKC, Houston, and then everything is a crapshoot from there. LA is only half game over Denver. Clippers are a game behind the Lakers and half game behind Denver. Minnesota's right there in the mix. Golden State right now would be in a play-in game against the Memphis Grizzlies, and then Dallas. But their 10 is set. But about who's in the play-in. But there's questions about how that's gonna shake out. So, but yeah, anything else you guys want to get to in the look around? You get to the standings, or what you think's happening in the playoffs, or if you just have anything else that you guys want to talk about before we get up out of here.
Listen, technically, after tonight, we're 0-0. This is one game at a time. It's 0-0. All right, like we got a chance to create our own destiny as the Bucks. We certainly do. Everybody's even once these playoffs start. Anything can happen. So certainly hope Doc keeps these boys locked in. Everybody keeps this energy going. They come out. Take this 7-game stretch, remember it, document it, keep this momentum, and let's get this going. Let's come out. Let's punch these Pacers in the mouth, man. Don't play with your food. Let's get out there and let's get busy. I'm going Bucks in 6.
Yeah, I like it. Love the energy.
My prediction.
So you were reading that stuff, right? Them Western Conference playoffs, and maybe my listening comprehension isn't the best in the world. But I was waiting for you to mention Coach Budenholzer and Phoenix Suns. Where they at, bro?
Yeah, they ain't there.
Oh. Are they gonna miss? Wait, hold on. Did they fall completely out of?
Yeah, they're already out. They're already out.
They're like 11 or 12, aren't they?
They are 11. Yeah, they could. They've lost 8 in a row. They technically could finish behind Portland.
Wow.
Can they get in the play-in? Or they can't? They only had
No, they're out.
Ooh.
Nah, I like all the energy, JT, as far as bringing on Indiana. I don't think I need to elaborate on that anymore. Like, we're ready. We're locked in. We got our black gloves on. We got our popcorn. Shout out to Jose Quintana tonight. First start with the Milwaukee Brewers. Believe he was 7 innings scoreless baseball. Brewers are up on the D-backs 3-0 right now in sorry Phoenix, Arizona. Maybe Coach Budden go watch the Diamondbacks this year.
Yeah, might as well. Ain't got nothing else to do. I think he can get fired too. Ios says, in my opinion, AJ Johnson will become a good player. I would have kept him, but yeah, just my opinion. And listen, I said it before. You could be totally right. AJ Johnson could become a good player. I think the issue is he was not going to win You were not going to find that out here in the next year. That's my problem. And so again, my problem was before the pick was bad, so it just was pointless. The pick was pointless to me. I think A.J. Johnson's best chance of being a good player is out in Washington and figuring out what he can do. But I will say again, he was not ready to play for this basketball team. I do not believe he was ready. I really don't. I don't think he could. I think he would have been a very frustrating player, and I'm glad we have Kevin Porter Jr. And Ryan. Like right now, Ryan Rollins is a better player than AJ Johnson. Like that's like everything about AJ Johnson's future 3-4 years down the line, maybe 2 at best. But I think he's at least 2 years away from being a good player, not even good, a serviceable player. I think Ryan Rollins is much better right now. Kevin Porter Jr. is light years better right now. So again, I can't fault him. It was just a bad pick. You should have used some. You should have picked somebody that was ready to play. But I will say, this roster to me, I know we can cry about Kuzma, cry about Torian Prince. This is a better roster. We just named a bunch of names before talking about what the Bucks went in Indiana with. They're gonna go into Indiana this year with a much better team. So I will take that. I don't have anywhere else I want to go. I don't know if we'll what's that?
Oh, I just wanted one last point about AJ Johnson, and let's all keep it a buck on him. We're Bucks fans, keep it a buck on the dude. He struggled in Wisconsin in the herd. He wasn't dominating the G League. When you look, because you mentioned that Ryan Rollins is better, and I think that's the right now he's better. That's the difference between a cat that's had to claw and fight tooth and nail to get to an NBA roster. It's played in the G League, played professional basketball. AJ's young. I agree with who said it? Io. I agree. I hope that I hope he comes into a great player, and hopefully will. But right now, it's just like you said, Trey. It's not it for us. JT has alluded to John Horst drafting abilities.
In that first round, I don't know what we're doing. I just can't. I'm not going to go there right now. I'm not going to go there right now because right now I'm locked in on Indiana. I'm locked in on how we get these 4 wins as quick as possible. I'm not going to go there. I will say this about AJ Johnson. I agree with you. I see the tools. I see that it was a bit of a project. You got needs right now. You have immediate needs in front of you, and you've not shown that you can consistently or adequately develop first round picks like that. You got a few hits, but boy, you got way more misses. I don't know what the thought process is on this one. And there were other players on the board that I think could have helped you could have helped you and could have met some of your needs this year. But hey, I wish AJ Johnson the best. I hope you enjoy go-go music. Might be in DC a little while. Mambo sauce, baby.
Mambo sauce.
Mambo sauce.
Yeah. Put that on. Go ahead and go down to Howard. Go to Ho Chi. Get to Howard China. Go to Ho Chi. Enjoy yourself, man. They got the
on Georgia Avenue. Incense King. Learn a little something about those.
I will say, man. Incense. I will say, man. I was in. It's so funny because that's low key racist. I ain't gonna do it. Okay, I'll stop. Yeah, I ain't gonna do it. Okay. I ain't gonna do it. I'll be forgetting, like, we just talking. But yeah,
you gotta go meet Wale. Trey, you know where you at?
Hey, man, Wale used to be all over the place. He'd be all over the place. No security either. Wale was cool.
The height of his career, no security, just out the street.
Hey, riding the metro, dog. You can see Wale anywhere in DC. Yeah, I think that I don't know if we're gonna do a show Sunday against. I don't know that we'll do a show Sunday against after the Detroit game at noon. We'll let y'all know. I got a feeling we might take that one off as we head into the playoffs. I do think there's some exciting updates when the playoff schedule does come out. I believe. I don't know if I'm sharing much of it. I believe you may be able to find this show as well on the social networks at 97.3 The Game. Not confirmed yet, but I believe we may be on their YouTube, their Facebook channels on 97.3. So be on the lookout for that. Still got to confirm it, but there's an opportunity there. And then check us out 97.3 tomorrow, 10 to noon on your T's and Q's. We'll have some fun for you, 10 to noon Central. That's 11 to 1 if you're on the East Coast. 97.3 The Game worldwide, iHeartRadio. Go to iHeart. Get on there and listen to 97.3 and check us out from 10 to noon. But I think that I think we will probably post some. We'll have to do a playoff preview maybe, you know, as we get up on Indiana. So a lot of stuff is coming your way. And I'm looking forward to it, man. So if this is the last show before the playoffs, not or if this is the last live show before the playoffs, so be it. You guys have been great. You've been riding with us for the entire year. This is game 81 of 82, and again, we just appreciated a bigger year this year than we had last year. I was looking at numbers, fellas. This has been the watch time is up. As far as how long people have actually watched the shows from this year to last year. The views are up, everything's up. We do it, on this platform. We're live on Twitter, so whether you watch Twitter, whether you watch here, if you send in a super chat, we appreciate it 100%. All you do is send the super chat is great. If you liked the video, if you shared it, if you commented, whatever you've done to help us out, we really appreciate it, and just want to make sure we do point that out. Man, Halliburton was looking terrible on the bench in Indiana.
I just see it.
You saw that? What the hell is he wearing? But Quack Me 22 says Bucks and 6. But yeah, I just reiterate, man. I want to appreciate it. Appreciate you, Justin. Appreciate you, JT. Chris King not here tonight. He's working, I know he's pulling a double tomorrow at the bar. So if you're out in Dayton, Ohio, you may see him. Don't get yourself kicked out and have one too many. But appreciate Chris King. And everybody's been a part of this thing. If you played in the All Your T's Q's CCC tournament bracket challenge, we appreciate it. It was fun. So again, we have big stuff coming. We're going to be live for the playoffs. Looking forward to it against Indiana. And hopefully we get a better result. We want to go. We want to go far. We want to go far this year. So hopefully, again, we have more than just 6 shows left in the season for you. Goalie 13 says he's going to the game Sunday. He's ready. 100%. It's fan appreciation day. So go ahead out there, enjoy yourself. Hopefully get some free gear. And again, it should be fun no matter what's going on. And I think it'll be fun because I think it'll be the Bucks have already secured everything. I know the guys won't be playing, but I think it's gonna be a fun atmosphere just to be there and be around and having everybody just kind of lock in and getting the shoes and the autographs and all that stuff. So looking forward to it. Again, we appreciate it. Anything else you guys want to say before I will really wrap it up after this time? Sorry.
No, just want to say, man, kind of echo what you said. Appreciate all the listeners. Appreciate everybody who makes the show what it is. We did this thing because we didn't feel like the Bucks get authentic coverage from anywhere in America. The only way you're going to get that is unfortunately local. We're not the Lakers. We're not the Knicks franchise. So your national media networks don't really seem to have a vested interest in being honest about the status of the Bucks. So we want to do this to get us to you guys, and y'all rock with us every single night. I know I've been on a lot. I want to give a special shout out to Justin here, who has helped make the show. Special shout out to you, Trey.
First year, Justin. I agree. Justin, excellent addition.
It's amazing, right? Because we were sitting here, we were doing this last year, and you see what it's grown to, and you see just the interaction with all the listeners and getting a lot of perspectives. And one of the things I love about this show, a lot of the people that listen and watch know ball. Like a lot of people are truly informed and know ball. And I learned something. I learned something from our listeners. I learned something from our chat. It goes crazy. So, man, appreciate y'all. Let's get these playoffs. Let's go. Man, season 2 of the CCC is a wrap.
Well, I say a lot of people know ball. A lot of y'all don't, too. I don't care. A lot of y'all don't. Go ahead. I don't care.
I just want to thank y'all 3 for allowing me to do this. This is great. I have more fun. I piss off my family because I'm yelling. We getting excited. Appreciate all y'all in the chat, whether y'all agree with some of the takes, whether you don't agree with the takes. Y'all super Bucks fans. At the end of the day, like I always say, we root for the front of this jersey. Let's go ahead. Let's get another T-shirt and a hat. Let's hope Dame comes back. Y'all 3 brothers are amazing. Look for big things from Cream City Media Group too. We got some stuff cooking. We
CMG. We can't tell them. We can't. We'll have to announce that.
We'll come with it.
We got some stuff though. It's cooking. We ain't gonna let it all the way out the bag, but
let the GDs in the dough. Let the GDs in
the dough. This has been the most fun I've had being a Bucks fan because of y'all three. I appreciate it. Being able just to talk about it. Y'all get me in trouble because y'all always got me spending money because I run my dumb mouth and then I got to buy a Kevin Porter Jr. jersey. Last thing I say as we go, the Kuzma jersey will not come down. We've had a winning record since it's been up.
It's
So
true.
we just going to keep that thing where
It's
it is.
true.
You know, we superstitious. But hey, like JT said, it's time to put the shiesty on now. It's playoff time. And we got to bring that level of intensity up. And if y'all are in that Pfizer during these playoffs, you make sure you let Halliburton and his family know you are not from the 414. You are from Oshkosh B'gosh. Go ahead on to Green Bay and get it packing up out of here, dog.
There we go. There we go. Good stuff. Io says Andre locked up Hal in the in-season tournament. Do you think I'm wrong for wanting to play game one? You're not wrong, but I think it's you're barking up the wrong tree on this. He ain't played in weeks, man. I
That's
think
true.
I'm not. I get it. I get the sentiment, but yeah, I'm just not with. He ain't played in weeks. Come on, game one, get ready to lock up Hallie. Like I think that's a I think you know. Yeah, I think that's just not happening. And again, I get it. I just don't think it's happening. And I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. I think this team is you found enough depth pieces, and you know we'll roll with it. Again, we appreciate everybody for watching. You could have been in the world, but you're here with us. So we appreciate it. Give some thanks again. Thank you. Thank as well our sponsors who've been with us all year long. Curtis Water from Sports Bar and Grill. Big ups to them. You guys went out there. You guys had some fun. Continue doing that. And again, we appreciate them. Out there, Lakeview Boulevard, Pewaukee, Wisconsin. Curtis Water from Sports Bar, proud sponsor of the Cream City Crossover. I think for the last time in the regular season, this has been a Cream City Media Group production from the Guru Trick House III.
JT.
Justin.
We'll see you in the playoffs. We'll have some videos to come up before that, but we will see you live. Game one of the playoffs in Indiana. It's going to be intense. It's going to be intense. If I am in envy, it's only because I dare to tell you the truth. Don't take no wood nickels. Courage.